Yeah, that's right. The plane carrying those two men, Benjamin Brière and Bernard Felland, touching down at around 7:40 p.m. here at Le Bourget airport, just north of Paris. Around about 40 minutes later, we saw the ambulance carrying both men passing by on the tarmac behind us here at the airport. French President Emmanuel Macron tweeting earlier in the day that both men could finally reunite with their loved ones. He called their release a relief. Now, just to give you a bit more context about their detention. So Bernard Felland, a dual Irish-French citizen, detained in October last year. He was detained on the pretext of providing information to another country. Of course, you must bear in mind that these detentions all happening against the backdrop of those ongoing anti-government protests that have rocked Iran since September last year. As for Benjamin Brière, he had been behind bars for the last 3 years, held in May 2020, accused by Iran of flying a remote-controlled mini-helicopter to obtain images on the Iran-Turkmenistan border. Other information, of course, very important to bear in mind. Both men have been on hunger strike to protest the conditions of their detention. So indeed, this evening, at the end of a very long, difficult ordeal for the two men.
Now, Andy, we spoke earlier about this particular backdrop that this is happening against, deteriorating relations between Iran and the West.
Yeah, that's right. So the two men amongst about 2 dozen foreigners still jailed in Iran. Those prisoners that campaigners accuse Iran of using to extract concessions from Western countries. So what we do know is that there are still 4 French citizens currently being held in prison in Iran. The French government calls those prisoners hostages, amongst them a teacher and partner arrested in May last year on charges of espionage. Of course, those charges vehemently denied by their families. And all this coming, of course, as Iran faces ongoing scrutiny over its fierce crackdown of that protest movement that began last September. Also against the backdrop of those talks between Iran and the West on reviving the 2015 nuclear deal. Those talks have been frozen for some time now. So indeed, these releases coming at a time of deteriorating relations between not just Iran and France, but Iran and the wider Western world.